They used to worship in the homes before a church was built, and that was before 1809. In 1809, Raymond Conyngham donated 3 acres of land, but he specified that it had to be for all religious denominations and also half of it for the school. And that's how the cemetery alongside got built, alongside the church. When I was growing up, we never had a car, and I had to go to Sunday school no matter what the weather was, and we walked. We never had a car till 1949, so we walked. And I remember coming up the back way and coming into the back of the church, and I'd say, do we really have to go today with our boots and umbrella? Yes, we have to go.
Christ Lutheran Church has been and will be the cornerstone of faith for the Hausknecht family. Of course, the Hausknechts came over here from Germany on the middle 1700s and gradually moved up into this area and settled in the valley. The first services held in the church were in German. When we did our vow renewal with Pastor Chip, it was a surprise to us. Our son sort of sprung it on us.
That was the place where you went for your community, for family, for your faith, growth in your faith, and all of that was the church. All the activities of the church were a cornerstone of my life, always, and my family's life. Some that even knew my grandmother, who I never knew, but some of the ladies of the church knew her and could tell me about her a little bit. Even though we came into the new building, there wasn't a lot of changes because we continued with all of the projects that we had, the programs that we had, the Lenten dramas, the covered dish dinners, the church dinners that we had and still have. All of it has continued. The faces have changed, but all of it has continued.
I came here in 1977. Cindy was in the choir, so I couldn't help meeting her. And we were married in February 4th of 1978, so that all happened pretty quickly. I only played the 10:30 service on Sunday. There were other people who handled the 8 o'clock service for quite a few years until they just weren't able to do it anymore. So then all of Sunday became my responsibility.
And that's one thing about this congregation that I think is almost unique now in this area, is the strong family ties that it has. I don't mean bloodline, so they're there, but I mean the family of God, the baptized people of God. This congregation takes that seriously, very seriously. And I think when they cry together and they laugh together, and they worship together and they serve together, it's all a part of being in the family of God here.
Oh, we had a lot of skits that I guess I directed and produced. One of the funniest was Charlie Lingenfelter and Pastor Chip doing the ventriloquist and his dummy. They did Willie Nelson and Julio Iglesias. Pat Durr was Liberace.
They asked me to do Liberace, and I remember you saying, well, why can't you do all this and all that like Liberace does? I think because I'm not Liberace. I don't know what they dressed me up in, somebody's fur
Mink,
coat.
yeah, you were in mink.
Yeah.
You had a candelabra on the piano.
That was one of the crazier things, yeah.
If you're laughing together, you're forgetting your troubles. And I think that if somebody is the type of person who either laughs or elicits laughs, you're helpful to the other person. You kind of buoy them up.
People here have a belief that they're building something in faith. All the time that what we're doing is not just about ourselves. It's not just about our personal satisfaction or our personal growth, but we're building and we're helping to grow. We partnered with the Valor Clinic Foundation for one of their Operation Stand Down events. And we were going to go help as they distributed clothing and food and shoes and socks and hats, and also a hot meal and bags of groceries. And the day it worked out, it should have been a beautiful day, but it was unseasonably cold and windy and rainy. They were able to distribute everything that they needed to distribute because we showed up with 15 people who didn't leave, they stayed.
The synod had okayed that our church would give money to a church over in Argentina. We were quite surprised when we went there and saw that there was just an outline in chalk. That was where the church was to go, since they gave the money to the hospital. So, I mean, at the drop of a hat, you can usually find somebody in the congregation who is able and willing to come and help. So I think that in itself says a lot for our congregation.
The church on earth is going to go on. It's going to go on in other places through other people. So my hope and my prayer is that the gospel continues to be proclaimed here, in this place, for more generations to come.
People wonder, are the glory days of the past just the past? Is the best of the church behind us? And sometimes people will wonder, well, what will the future look like? Will people continue to come to worship? My hope is that people focus on continuing to not only do all of the wonderful gospel-driven things that we do here, but to be open to new ways of doing them and new places of doing those things. Because church is not just a building. We're called to be church in the world.